Hello, this is Andre Campbell, your host of Spiritual IV. And today I just want to spend a little time talking about the fact that in this life we can be somebody's test. We need to remember that I am somebody's test. And what I mean by that is that there are people who are testing their barometer of for God, their barometer of God, how they feel about God. They've heard from maybe from their parents, they've watched in church, they've watched people out in the world, and they're not quite convinced that God is who he says he is. But I want to encourage Christians today, those of us who call ourselves followers of Christ, those of us who decide that we want to reflect, reveal, and resemble the character of Christ, that we need to remember that we may be somebody's test. In other words, they're watching and they're testing us to see if we're really about what we say we're about. Now, there's another side to that because sometimes we in our lives, and that's the thunder here in Tampa, the lightning capital of the world. Sometimes we also forget that we're not perfect, and sometimes we forget that we ourselves have some drawbacks and some things that challenge other people, and so and then likewise we're challenged by others as well. So that's the other side of this where when I think of myself as when I say I am somebody's test, I'm not just thinking about the fact that somebody may be watching to see if I really stand up to what I say I'm going to do, but also they're watching to see if I'm really going to live by. No, I'm sorry, I was about to go back into the same one from before. This is the other nuance that people are dealing with us, and some people have to practice patience with us. We might be somebody's test in that regard, where maybe somebody is learning to be long suffering, and God is working on them with that. We may be somebody's test in that regard as well, just as others test us in that regard as well. So I want to encourage us today on both sides of this same very same topic. Remember that somebody may be looking for a light like you in this world. Somebody may be looking for that. I say it all the time, that substance of things hoped for and that evidence of things not seen. And secondly, there are those who are struggling with showing you kindness and patience. And let's remember that we have to be mindful of that we ought to want to have our deportment to be as such that we reveal, reflect, and resemble Christ. We're struggling on all sides, aren't we? May God bless you today, and may you take this spiritual IV at heart today, and remember that and say to ourselves, I'm somebody's test, whether as a testimony or for growth. This is my prayer that you'll rise up to that challenge in Jesus' name through his spirit. God bless you and see you next week on another episode of Spiritual IV.
In the middle of the week.